Hi kids, Pastor Kevin here. Do you think that when I was a kid, do you think that I ever got in trouble? Yes, Pastor Kevin did get in trouble. And I used to get so frustrated when I'd get punished for what I did. Now, I want to tell you a story about a time that I didn't do anything and I still got in trouble. Back in the day when Pastor Kevin was in grade school, he used to eat his lunch in a cafeteria with all the other kids. And there was a rule that if you got caught like throwing napkins into other people's drinks or at each other, you'd have to come back after everybody was done eating and sweep the whole cafeteria. Well, one time I was sitting there eating my lunch and out came the guy who was in charge of the cafeteria and he rang this big bell and he said, "This guy here is gonna sweep the whole cafeteria." And it was me, and I didn't do anything. He got the wrong guy. I remember I was so mad because I had to sweep the cafeteria and I didn't even do anything. Well, today I want to tell you a story about a guy named Paul. And he got in trouble for doing something that he didn't do either. He was telling people about Jesus and about how Jesus rose from the dead, and people didn't like that. And they didn't make him like sweep a cafeteria. They put him in jail. Can you imagine that? Going to jail for something you didn't do? Well, it's a pretty cool story because I want you guys to see, as you look at this video, I want you to see how Paul handled it. I mean, I remember being so mad about being accused or something I didn't do. But Paul handled it a completely different way. Paul was one of the coolest people in the Bible. So go ahead and watch this video, won't you? And you'll see how he handled it when he got accused of something that was really the truth.
Paul was living as a prisoner in Rome. He had done nothing wrong. But the Jewish people had tried to kill him because he believed and taught that Jesus had risen from the dead. Many did not believe in the resurrection. Now Paul was waiting to meet with the emperor of Rome. Believers visited Paul or sent him gifts. While in prison, Paul wrote a letter to the Christians in Philippi to thank them for sending him gifts and to tell them about his work.
Paul wrote, "I want you to know, brothers, that even though the Jews tried to stop me, everything that has happened has actually helped me tell more people the good news about Jesus. Now the guards at the palace know the gospel, and other believers have been sharing the gospel without fear. This all happened because Paul was a prisoner."
Paul wrote, "Thank you for praying for me. I know that God has given me the Holy Spirit to help me. I hope that I will never be afraid or embarrassed about anything. I want to be bold and honor Jesus whether I live or I die. For me, living is Christ and dying is gain. If I live for Jesus. If I die for Jesus, I will be with him forever." Paul said it was important to the Philippian Christians that he be alive so he could continue to help and encourage them.
No matter what happens, live your life in a way that brings honor to the gospel of Christ. Then, whether I am with you or away, I will hear that you are working together to share the good news about Jesus.
Paul also urged the believers to not let anyone scare them away from doing God's work. He said, "This is the work God has given you to do, not only to believe in him, but also to suffer for him."
God used Paul's difficult circumstances to spread the gospel and build the church. Paul knew that because Jesus suffered to bring salvation to the world, believers doing God's work would suffer too.